The Missing Chapter project brings together a distinct body of photographs showcasing Black presences in Victorian and Edwardian Britain. These photographic portraits represent the diverse experiences and professional lives of 19th century migrants, from visiting performers, politicians, dignitaries, royalty and missionaries, as well as many as yet unidentified individuals, some of them born and bred in Britain, prior to the arrival of the Empire Windrush in 1948. Their collective presence bears witness to Britain's colonial and imperial history during the 19th and early 20th century. Through this pioneering research program, we hope to fill a missing chapter in the long history of Britain's culturally diverse communities.
In this video, we will introduce you to the story of this photographic collection in relation to the visual resources we have produced for formal and informal learning. First, a few key facts about these photographs. You may be wondering where these photographs actually come from.
In 2013, Autograph started an archive research project to uncover these portraits and bring them together for public viewing, drawn from a variety of different collections, including the Hulton Archive, a division of Getty Images, the National Portrait Gallery in London, the Royal Collection Trust, whose photographic archives are held at Windsor Castle, as well as several private collections. All of these portraits were produced in commercial photo studios across Britain during the latter half of the 19th century. For decades, many of them lay buried deep within one of the largest image archives in the world, unseen for more than 125 years. Others have been preserved and kept away from the public eye in private collections. Others again, though represented in major national museums, have rarely been put on display.
Wow, taken over 100 years ago. What kind of photographs are they then?
All of these portraits are more than 100 years old. The originals are so-called carte de visite, cabinet portraits or album prints that have been produced directly from the original glass plate negatives. Carte de visite and cabinet portraits are thin paper photographs mounted on card. They were a bit like visual business cards for famous as well as ordinary people, and were traded avidly during the Victorian period. The photographer's name and studio details were often engraved on the front and reverse of each card, and sometimes together with the name of the sitter or their profession or affiliation, especially if they were known within public spheres. As for glass plate negatives, these are postcard-sized sheets of glass coated with light-sensitive material made of silver salts. This method of capturing an image preceded photographic film until the early 20th century. All the portraits of the African choir, plus many others in the collection, have been printed in this way, and many people have commented on how detailed, sharp and modern the sitters look.
And now a selection of these images have been incorporated into two different resources, the analogue Exhibition in the Box and the digital web app. Because a key part of Autograph's mission with this project was to make these photographs available to local communities, schools and colleges to experience and learn from and be inspired. The Exhibition in a Box is a limited edition pop-up archive featuring a selection of 30 large A3-sized reproductions of portraits mounted on card. Included in the box are also a set of adhesive sticky pads for displaying the cards on a wall, a fold-out leaflet with a short biographical information on the sitters and introductory information to the Missing Chapter project, and a set of postcards for promotion. The Missing Chapter Black Chronicles web app is a freely accessible website where you can search through and interact with more than 250 portraits. The website has been created with learning, exploring and discovery in mind and is set out in 3 sections. Discover, where you can search for a variety of different portraits by choosing keywords, dates, names, places, themes, and then develop your chosen photographic negative in a tray of liquid using the app's simulated darkroom. After the screen becomes tinted in a red light temporarily, the image will soon appear, available to be enlarged for closer inspection and flipped over to reveal biographical information about the sitter or sitters, if available. For some images, you will also find brief audio sound clips. Archive. Your developed photograph will be automatically added to your own personal archive, which is organised into a timeline by format and stores all your developed images for later viewing. Teaching Zone, a series of interactive activities for learning more about the photographs. You can interview the image to ask questions about the portraits and see how much the available information can reveal. You can analyse the image to compare and contrast portraits through different lenses such as dress, class and gender. You can review the journey of the image, where the story of the Missing Chapter project is told in a series of brief chapters, including revealing some of the important places where photographs were unearthed. Finally, you can explore the history of photography through a timeline highlighting select moments in the development of the technology from the early 1800s to the present. There is also a teacher's dossier, which includes downloadable PDFs for teachers and tutors with key stage specific guidance and activities for students to engage with the app, and an area to review students' work. Finally, there's a growing glossary with all the key words and phrases used throughout the resource.
Thank you for listening to this short presentation, and we hope that you've learned more about the Missing Chapter Black Chronicles exhibition in a box and web app.